what's going on, y'all? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And you're about to watch a little OTB LSU.
We're going to give you all the latest, greatest between LSU football, baseball, women's basketball, softball, and everything in between.
Bottom line, if you want to talk Tigers, keep it locked, subscribe, like it, and we hope you enjoy it. No Josh Thompson with LSU right now to open up spring practice. This is, of course, the Northwestern interior offensive lineman that we believe will likely be a starter on this team and that LSU will be relying on. Tate, why is he not here? Is he not coming to LSU at all?
No, he's coming. It was something with his classes. He wanted to get his degree. He's like a few hours away from getting that. So as soon as he gets that, he will join the team. It just will not be at the start of spring. But look, that's not necessarily awful in my opinion, just because he's been there, done that. I mean, he's played in college for 4 years. Like he'll be fine if he's here during the summer and get some of your younger guys some experience. Some of those guys that enrolled in spring. I mean, I think Josh Thompson's going to be a starter, but I mean, look, Akarius Kern is a guy that could take advantage of this. Bo Bordelon is a guy that could take advantage of this. Some guys that are fighting for spots.
It's a good point. It's a good point by you, because certainly it does make it a heavier lift on Josh now to come in and start right away if his first action with the team. Now, he'll be training during the summer, but if your first practice action with the team is in fall camp, it's not a very long time.
Well, when would a quarter system end? Because I'm assuming that's what they're on.
Yeah, they are on a quarter system, yes.
So I guess you'd have to find out when that is, because he could finish up and be here sooner than if he was on semester, obviously. If he only has this quarter left.
Yeah,
so that's what it sounds like.
Well, a quarter's 25 cents, and Taylor, you may not know this. So a quarter in fractions is actually 1/4.
Yeah, 4.
So if we take the 12 months and we split it into 4s, I don't know if that's how quarter systems work, but there we go. Maybe after March.
3 months.
Yeah. Somebody went to Louisiana Tech, which is also on the quarter system. Let us know.
Either way, no Josh Thompson for spring. I don't mind that spin zone, Taylor. I didn't love this at first because ideally, with so many new starters on that offensive line, I want them to have as much time as possible together. But you do raise a good point in that in terms of who do those spring reps mean more to, Thompson or some of these younger guys? I am with you that they mean more to the younger guys. So that's not a bad spin zone by you. Now for Thompson, again, I think credit to him wanting to get his degree. I see why. It's Northwestern. Everything else is so close. But he does make it a bit tougher on himself. You kind of crack open that door, Jake, not to be penciled in as the immediate starter if one of these young cats gets hot, takes a step forward. He could have a real-ass competition on his hands come fall time.
Yeah, one of the things we didn't get to spend a lot of time on because of the time and when it happened in the sports calendar, and also I think it was a bowl game that I think LSU fans weren't as dialed into because it was the Texas Bowl, but the young offensive line and the line that played in that game, considering it was really just a lot of patchwork and it felt like it was going to be a bomb squad, they did pretty well.
They really did.
You saw them play hard in that game, and they had success on the ground and through the air. And that, as we talked about during the time, that was going to be a great springboard for them going into spring practice because they've gotten reps as a starter against a quality Big 12 team that had won, 5-6 games in a row at that point. And that was always going to be very beneficial for them. And so now they get an opportunity to continue that. And if you're LSU, it's actually not a bad spot because you're going to have somebody that is going to be motivated to have, because he didn't get here for 2 weeks, right? And so
Chad's saying March 27th.
Yeah, Matt just texted us, and he said quarter ends March 21st. He'll be here for the second half of spring.
So not to brag,
over on LouisianaSports.net.
Our 3-month theory proven correct there.
So, big math show.
Yep.
OTB, known math show. But now they get 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a long time in spring practice. And so your hope is, if you're Brad Davis, they take advantage of that. And then they make it hard to get him out of the lineup. So hope, you see some young players go out there and realize the opportunity ahead of them.
So Josh Thompson, again, exactly. Well, that is, as we go to break, do we all agree on this? This team's potential all revolves around how this offensive line is.
Yeah.
Because everywhere else they look set, they look complete. They seem to have veterans and or a lot of talent. And not to say they don't have it there, but like that is the position group that will decide how good or bad this team is.
At least on offense. I mean, I think it's O-line and safety. I think you're still pretty light there. But like I was talking about it a little bit last week.
But like offensive line, I would argue more impactful than safety, certainly.
I was talking about it a little bit last week. Like look at who you lost. You lost Mason Taylor. That's a big loss. But I think you did a pretty good job of replacing him. You lose Kyron Lacey, who was kind of like your de facto number one, but kind of late in the season it wanted to be an Aaron Anderson. You got Anderson back. You got Thomas back. You have Nick Anderson, who's 6'5".
Yeah.
You didn't have anybody like that a year ago. You got Barry and Brown, who's a burner. Trey Dez will probably play more
got
out
a full
wide
season,
than he does
hopefully,
at
of
tight
Chris
end anyways.
Hilton.
Yeah,
Chris Hilton for a full season. Like
how much did that change the dynamic?
Yes.
Just having him in that bowl game, you saw like what you were missing.
well,
I think you
in
probably end
Oklahoma-
up in an SEC championship if you have full strength Hilton all year.
Even the Oklahoma game, like you fell behind, Nuss got hurt, but he came back in. He threw back-to-back touchdowns to Chris Hilton, and then like you went from having no deep threats to a lot. Like Barry and Brown's going to be a deep threat for you. Chris Hilton's going to be one. You're better at every position outside of the offensive line, including Nuss because he's coming into his second year.
So again, that is the group to watch this spring, this fall, and that will ultimately decide just how far this team can go. Wow, Jake, what incredible takes.
I mean, those guys, they're just the best.
I think so. And if you think so, again, hit the like button, subscribe, ring the bell so you get notifications when we post every single day here on OTB LSU.